Imagine taking a massive, 100-pound analog mixing board with a million faders on it and just shrinking it down to the size of a coffee mug.
Right, and then powering that whole thing with a single standard internet cable.
Exactly. Today, we are looking at how a device exactly like that is quietly dismantling the traditional audio studio. So welcome to this custom-tailored deep dive.
Yeah, it's a fascinating shift to talk about.
Our mission today is unpacking a highly specialized piece of gear. We pulled the technical specs from HDTVSupply for the Turtle AV TAV-MINEOLAMICRO Mineola Micro converter.
Quite the mouthful, but a very cool piece of tech.
It really is. And we are skipping the basics today to look at how this compact unit brings heavy-duty edge computing directly to the microphone.
Yeah, because when we talk about edge computing in IT, we usually picture, data centers or IoT devices.
Right.
But here, the edge is literally the mic stand. This Turtle AV unit sits right where the sound is captured, taking 2-channel analog XLR mic audio and just bridging it directly onto a Dante network.
Okay, let's unpack this because it's doing this while dealing with the realities of fragile analog signals. It's got 2 locking combo 3-pin XLR TRS 1/4-inch inputs and a locking EtherCon RJ45 Dante output. So it's physically locking down that transition. To me, it's like bottling and purifying water right at the natural spring.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
Right, because instead of piping muddy analog sound through hundreds of feet of copper cable to a central treatment plant, which would be the mixing board, this box EQs and digitizes the audio directly at the mic.
Yeah, so only pure, ready-to-use data travels down the wire.
Exactly.
And that spring water analogy hits on why this architecture is taking over. Running analog signal over long cable runs, well, it invites noise and degradation.
Oh, absolutely.
So by moving the conversion to the edge, you lock in the audio quality immediately. What's fascinating here is that it's applying robust 48-volt phantom power directly at that edge point, which is crucial for running high-end studio condensers.
Hang on, I need to stop you there because here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
If we are running 48 volts of phantom power for heavy-duty mics and pushing zero latency Dante audio and running an onboard DSP with an 8-band parametric EQ all over a single power over Ethernet cable, how does that not introduce massive data interference?
It does sound like a recipe for crosstalk, definitely.
Right. I mean, we're asking one Cat6 cable to cleanly do the job of a power outlet, a massive copper audio snake, and a rack of outboard gear.
Yeah, but the PoE standard isolates the DC power from the high-frequency data signal.
Oh, okay.
The twisted pairs in that Ethernet cable handle the 24-bit 96 kilohertz Dante sampling flawlessly while, pulling the necessary wattage from a central network switch.
Wait, really? So you manage the onboard DSP, the filters, everything, via a web GUI API, all riding on that same isolated data stream?
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, combining PoE with that pristine sampling means we have essentially eliminated the traditional audio snake and local power supplies in one stroke.
Wow. So you just drop this box on a stage, plug in 2 mics, run one Cat6 back to a switch, and you're done.
You've entirely decentralized the workflow. The heavy lifting happens before the audio even hits the wider network.
So what does this all mean? Like, who actually requires this specific combination of pristine audio and lockdown physical security?
Right.
Because the specs from HDTVSupply heavily emphasize that this Turtle AV unit is TAA compliant and sold in the USA. I look at TAA compliance and usually think, bureaucratic red tape for federal purchasing. Is this just about passing procurement audits?
Well, procurement is the mechanism, sure, but the need driving it is operational security. Think about a federal courthouse or a secure government broadcasting facility.
Okay, yeah.
In those environments, an unplugged cable isn't just an annoyance, it is a gap in the legal record.
Oh, I see. So those locking EtherCon and XLR connectors aren't just for clumsy roadies tripping on stage?
Far from it. They prevent localized tampering or, accidental disconnection of critical audio feeds. When you combine physical locking mechanisms with encrypted Dante network traffic, you create an end-to-end secure audio pipeline that meets those really stringent government requirements.
Which explains the compliance factor.
Exactly. That institutional value expands this converter's footprint way beyond a standard commercial music studio.
It really reframes how we think about system design. We're taking the physical mess of the analog world, the power supplies, the fragile connections, the massive copper runs, and we are just neatly packaging it into a secure, government-approved digital node that fits in the palm of your hand.
It is a fascinating shift in how we engineer sound.
So just to summarize, we are combining secure analog inputs, powerful onboard DSP, and government-approved network integration into one compact unit.
Yeah. And as our infrastructure leans entirely into IT networks, with compact edge converters handling their own processing and security, well, this raises an important question.
What's that?
Will those massive analog soundboards we used to revere eventually become near museum relics? It's definitely something to think about.